Sorry in advance for the amount of swearing. I know I don't have an excuse, but I was I don't know why I was just really not in a good mood. Sorry. Hello. Now, all of my viewers know I've been doing Nerf reviews pretty much since I got this set up. But I haven't been doing Nerf reviews recently because, well, I haven't had any new blasters that I, had the box for. The last review I made on a blaster that did not have the box was the Ranger, because that's a new blaster. So I thought I would be able to get away with it. I don't know how that video's doing. Actually, hold on, let me check right now. Uh the fuck? Videos. Alright, where the fuck are you? Oh no, it was the Mediator. I've done two. The Mediator, which has 14, which is, pretty good for non-gaming or, like, my video reaction videos. And then the... Where the fuck is the Ranger? I could have sworn I did a Ranger review. Okay, I guess I did. I must be misremembering that. Well, either way, then that's on the docket. But the reason I've been doing that is because I don't know what they come with. I don't really give a fuck anymore. So, we're gonna be doing a review of the Nerf AccuStrike Alphahawk. This is the only AccuStrike blaster I currently own. Or have ever owned. I've actually owned like 3 of these before. Hold on, let me get something that gives this a bit more contrast on. Yeah. I chose like the least contrasty thing for this fucking blaster. I could just... I haven't done anything. I own one of the Ghost series blasters that Nerf made. The ones that look like the clear blasters, the lights in them and shit. Like crystal clear with green lights. I don't... What the fuck is it called? It's the Modulus Evader. I don't remember what the fuck... I think it's called Ghost Dots. Don't quote me on that. I might be pulling that name out of my ass. I vaguely remember being called the Ghost Dots. But again, I don't have the box, so I don't know the full blaster names. For a few blasters, they don't even fucking have the name. Like, I have a Roblox freaking Nerf grenade launcher that I do not know the name of. Because I didn't, because I don't really give a fuck. What was the hat of the day? It was a black baseball cap, right? This is what happens when you try to double your videos by doing 2 every day that you promise to record. You forget shit. Anyway, this is the Alphahawk. It is about from my pec to the first knuckle in my hand. In other words, it's about arm length. It is a 5-shot bolt action revolver. And yes, you can cowboy it. And yes, it does look hilarious when you cowboy this thing. It's a bit stupid, but I love it. So we're going to start off with the ergos. The stock is a thumb... I'm going to wear it backwards. Because, yeah, why not? Anyway, the stock... It is a thumbhole stock, but they added this chunk here, which gives you really nice ergos. This is comfy. This is really fucking comfy. They added something so you can do a cheek weld, or, you're an AK guy. Apparently that's something AK guys do. Fuck it. Fuck the head of the day. I will be doing that every separate day I do a video. I just don't have it sit on my forehead. Fun. The trigger is like all Nerf triggers. It is actually pretty soft for a Nerf trigger. The priming handle is ambidextrous and spring return. So, you don't have to go. Although, a lot of people do this because the blaster is slam fire, but... yeah, because the way that they got rid of slam fire is the trigger. It moves on the trigger release. The arms for this are literal just plastic arms. And the barrel is pretty much useless from here forward. Anyway, there's going to be a jump cut because I'm going to be moving to... which is... that table over there, you can kind of see it in the background, right there is going to be the table that I shoot Nerf guns on until a date that I don't even know when. Why? None of your fucking business. But first I have to dig out the fucking target. Then I'm going to come back for my verdict, and you should buy these, because these are very common at thrift stores, because they're cheap. Oh wait, I forgot to talk about the tacticalness. There is no stock or barrel attachment point. That's not really a common thing on these blasters, because, well, they're not made to be tactical, they're made to be they're made to be a bit more practical than the average blaster. But it has a bipod thing, and before you say, use it for a laser, who the fuck is gonna be operating this thing with a fucking laser? Actually, I mean, yeah, but just get the fucking hose clamp it on there. I have one bipod, it's the really shitty ones from Modulus, so, yeah. And then, I'm so used to having hair so that I, pull back, and then that is the scope rail. Nobody is gonna use a red dot on this fucking thing. 5 shots and it's a fucking... yeah, the front sight does kind of get in the way, but just take some wire cutters up there if you want, it to be scope only, but I don't really give a fuck. My loadout for this would be bipod scope. The scope that I have is like a Nerf ACOG. It looks like an ACOG, that's really it. Anyway, I will be back. This feels so weird, stopping recording and then resuming recording. Just me. Alright. Jump cut over. Did it work? Kind of. I'm kind of having to yell into the mic. Hold on, let me extendo patronum the mic. Brace yourself for loud noises. Fuck! Alright, the mic is working. Sorry, I had to do the test, because the fucking internet is a weird acid trip fever dream. Alright, well, this blaster is kind of used to basically the Nerf equivalent of waffle heads. So we're going to use waffle heads. These are the cheapest waffle-headed darts on the market. Before you ask why is one of them dark green, they're the same fucking dart. They just use different foam for the Ruin series. For some strange fucking reason. By the way, these are from the same people who made the yellow-headed hyper accuracy darts. That sucks so bad that the blaster that they came with couldn't even fucking chamber them. I am, of course, talking about Busby and their notoriously bad quality on the darts that came with the monorail. Not fucking chambering. Now I have 5 shots to land a perfect 100% accuracy. I'm allowed to miss 1 shot. First one's from point blank. That hit it, it just didn't go down. Alright, the second one is from just off screen. You can still see the barrel. Yeah, I'm shit at aiming, so. Is it just point blank? Okay. Third one is from the end of where the old desk was. For those of you who don't know, that's about halfway across this room distance, which is about, I want to say about 3 yards. This is a small room. Missed. I hit it that time. It didn't go down. Alright. I'm just going to carry you guys back to the old format. Because I don't get paid enough to care. Alright. Oh, shit. That is way too fucking. There we go. Alright. Alright. We're back to. Fuck. Just a little bit lower. Much better. Alright. So. Should you buy from resale the Nerf Alphahawk? I say that it's not an absolutely yes, but definitely, yeah, you definitely should. It is a great blaster, high quality, you know, it's accurate, it actually fucking fires. I am looking at you, Deploy fanboys. I used to own a Deploy. Well, I didn't own it. I think it was my cousin. Yeah, my cousin owned it. My cousin Jackson. You don't need to know about him. But either way, he owned one, and I was always the one stuck with it. Well, he got the freaking Vulcan. You know, the one that can be both full auto and Springer, because fuck you, I guess. Which also, that blaster is weirdly realistic, because it's got a charging handle and it can go full auto, but I'm not going to look too hard into that one. Now, I'm actually going to be doing 3 videos recording today, because I don't want to have to record on Friday. I'm just going to set a fucking reminder. So, you know, for people who I send a link to, you guys will know what that is. That is my video. It's set to private until Friday. Anyway, I will see you dumb motherfuckers in the next one. Goodbye! Where the fuck is my mouse? Over there, of course it is. Eat ass! Bye!